Hey, boys and girls, weather report for May 11th, 2021. Once again, and against the advice of my attorneys, we're live. Hello. And let's see. Oh, tomorrow is a big day on this channel, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. And today is a big day because Danny's here. Whoa. Danny's here. Danny, Nietzsche. Did you watch Dessel Drace take our channel down over Nietzsche? I don't know. Anyway, what's up, guys?
Oh, you know, living the dream, as they say, right?
Yeah, we are too.
I'm living the dream.
I'm living the YouTube dream here.
Or is it a nightmare? Is it a nightmare or is it a dream?
A little bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just need. Okay. Yeah. Jerry thinks we should. What did he say about Otangelo?
Now, what did Dessel say?
Oh, Dessel did a 1 hour takedown on his video of something that the guys were arguing about Nietzsche, which I did not even listen to the other day.
Yeah, apparently it's so bad that we have to vacate the channel by Friday, including get all our booze out of the cabinets and drawers.
Yep. Yeah, but I thought maybe you should give it a listen. It's 1 hour. He's going to take it down in about 3 days. So, yes, no. But what does he do that? Why would you do that? I don't get it. You don't want to clutter up the channel.
He doesn't want to. Compromise his principles.
Yeah.
For fame and glory.
Yeah, we don't have much today.
Jerry's talking about the video. He must have went and watched the Ontangelo video over on Digital Gnosis, because he's the example that Danny gave on Tangelo was the universe of one electron. He was an electron necessary for God, or however he tried to get Ontangelo to, with the necessity thing that he tried to use that as an example. Over on that, that was part of the arguments that they were doing over there.
The universe of one electron? What?
Yeah, he tried to. Well, he was trying to get Tangelo to commit to whether or not God is necessary, whether it's
Okay.
And he used, he asked Ontangelo if the electron, if that's all there was, would God be necessary for that electron to exist? I believe that's how he tried to describe it. I don't know. Danny could do a much better job of describing it than I can. And Tangelo, he couldn't figure it out. Tangelo couldn't figure it out at all, really. I think he couldn't figure out necessity, whether God was necessary or not, and he wouldn't commit to that. But it took him forever. You'd have to watch the whole. It was a real long talk. Those guys were talking for quite a while, but it was good. It really was interesting. I told you about it. Yes, we didn't actually review any of it, but that was that was on that channel. And he talked to Pine Creek, and I remember I mentioned it yesterday to Ontangelo. They did the role playing. Ontangelo was an atheist, and he did a role play as an atheist, and Pine Creek was did the role playing as a theist, and they were having a mini debate, and it was funny. It was really good. And, I was talking about, but Danny was a part of that. He didn't get too involved in it, a little bit. And then, what's his name? Tom Rabbit was there. Tom Rabbit, I told you guys, well, I had said it on Tangelo yesterday that you know, those guys kind of drilled him. Tom Rabbit was kind of drilling on Tangelo pretty good. Who else? I mean, Danny come up with that scenario about the electron, you know, whether or not God was necessary for that. What else? You know, Pine Creek was there and was drilling them. Also, Rob from Sentinel Apologetics, and he's Rob. We talked about him the other day. I don't know if you guys are familiar. He's the guy that's he's a old, you know, not an old Earth, but he's, you know, believes in evolution and all the, but he's a theist. You know, he's a Christian. And he was there, so he kind of drilled on Tangelo a little bit because they have completely separate view. You know, their you know, doctrines of Christianity is quite different from each other on Tangelo's old Earth. So
they had quite a team there. There's Danny Facepalming.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably when he was doing the when he was trying to explain to Tangelo about the electron. I'm not sure, but I didn't timestamp any of it. Unfortunately, it was quite long. Oh shit! Actually, did I? I think actually I did. As a matter of fact, I wrote down some timestamps. And Tangelo actually talked about it because remember he actually Tangelo told Peter to go watch it yesterday. He gave him the link and said, "Oh, go watch it. It was really good." And so actually, Tangelo was proud of it. He was kind of because they, like I said, they had fun. Doug, I like Doug. He's a good guy. When he gets on these streams, you know, he likes to joke. He's pretty laid back. He's, you know, he likes to make it fun, and so he jokes around a lot. So he's pretty good. He's fun to watch. So
let's see if I can mark this.
We lost Midnight already?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Did somebody make him mad?
I don't know. He just tends to drift in and out because he's busy on Discord and a lot of places.
Oh, gotcha.
He's a very busy man.
A better offer.
Better off. So we got Jerome Robinson, Tom Rabbit, Scald. I don't know him. I don't know Jerome Robinson. I don't know Oscar. Who's Rob?
That's he. I believe his YouTube channel is Sentinel Apologetics. He's the one. He's a theist. He's, you know, like I said, he knows the. I described it. It's hard for me to describe his position. Okay. He's a, you know, he knows the Bible very well. I guess he, you know, more the history of it in, you know, Old Testament, New Testament, and, you know, the literature, or how am I'm trying to think of the word, like how the Bible is written. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like,
hermeneutics, or
yeah, I guess, yeah, kind of like that. He's, like I said, he's very knowledgeable, but he's, you know, but I still wouldn't call him an old Earth, but he is old Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't put him in that old Earth category, but, you know, so, but he's pretty smart character. He's a pretty smart, you know, he knows the Bible very well.
Yeah. He's got a chronological Bible reading and a few other things.
Yeah. But he goes on these streams, you know, he goes on this Digital Gnosis streams, and he's been popping in just recently in the past, you know, 4 or 5 days. He's been popping into Maddox's channel. You know, he's been jumping in their streams. He jumped into Praise's streams a few times, which is kind of like not his normal stomping grounds, I would say. But just in the past week or so, he's been jumping in a lot. And he's on the other spectrum of those guys, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so he got 2,100 views, and he only has 2.2K subscribers. Right.
Well, that's probably a big reason. Well, probably Pine Creek. Pine Creek, I think, draws a lot. He's got a pretty big following, Pine Creek. A lot of people. Pine Creek's got about 10,000. I think his channel is about 10,000. Okay. So he's got a pretty good following. You know, so probably that would be one of the reasons. And like I said, this kid here, Nathan, Digital Gnosis, you know, he brings in some fairly popular people that kind of draw, you know, from other channels or whatever. So that's probably why he gets a lot of views. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. So this guy knows.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This guy Rob knows the Bible.
Yeah.
Sentinel apologetics, and he denies yak. So I would be interested in talking. I'm trying to understand why yaks are so adamant about yak, right?
Yeah. He tried to talk to Antangelo during the stream about that a little bit, but and he's jumped in. Like I said, he's jumped into, and I think he's had some conversations on John's channel, Praise's channel. He's had a few arguments on there just recently in the past.
Yeah.
If you check out their streams, their recent streams in the past week, you'll see him on there. Well, but I think, most of it is Bible stuff. You know, they just talk about Bible shit mostly, you know, so it's not all.
Sorry, David.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My point of view is that how strictly fundamentalist you are highly correlates to whether you're a young earth creationist. It depends on your tolerance of literalness versus metaphor. Any fundamentalist is going to say, well, yeah, there's metaphor in there. You just have to use good hermeneutics to figure out which is which. But their comfort level with the degrees to which they'll allow for metaphor is just really, really a low bar. They get very uncomfortable. So they take more things literally than an old earth creationist would.
Well, you know, okay, if you're a fundamentalist, then you get to interpret certain things in the Bible concerning some of the more liberal churches. You know, the more liberal churches are starting to say, we don't give a shit about homosexuality or whatever. And if you're fundamentalist, basically you have to back up why liberal churches are evil, right? I mean, they talk, Emery Moyna calls them goats, right? He says you separate the sheep from the goats. He thinks the sheep are the fundamentalists that interpret the Bible literally. So if you, and that's why Yek goes with basically all of these rigid doctrines for the church, you know, that you can't have certain kinds of ministers, you know, that promote liberal attitudes that would actually get them a congregation, because a lot of churches are having a little trouble with their congregations shrinking in modern times. And one of the ways to get your congregation back is to stop fucking denying current culture. But they call those people the goats, and the sheep are, you know, and I think they kind of got it backwards, because a fundamentalist seems like a goat to me. He looks more like a goat. He's got horns. You know? Yeah. A sheep just likes to roll around, you know, and make blankets. You know, there's I don't know. Anyway, but you know, there's something about that, and there's something about that's the reason they also adhere to the whole Republican doctrine of anything you do for people that has social or justice in the word is wrong. You know, anything you do to help people, and it's sort of a hardcore part of the Republican Party, right? So they all go together, and you go listen to their streams, and you'll find out that everything goes, that all of these little attitudes, anti-vax, anti-mask, all that shit, all is rolled into a bundle. Why? Why did they want to die on that hill? They wanted to go back to the way things used to be, you know?
Like, what? Danny just made a good point too about this stream. He said, don't underestimate Tom Rabbit's following, which is true. Okay. Tom Rabbit is very popular, and he has a pretty big following. So, you know, that's why you talked about the views on here, you know, so that's another reason too. So
it seems disproportionate.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I never really paid much attention to views. A little bit, sometimes I do, but yeah, look at some of his other videos. Do they have a lot of views too?
2.1K here. 311 for a couple of them. 4,000, 5,000 views. He does really good. 10,000 views. Jesus.
Yeah, he does. Like I said, he's really does well. He just has a lot of A lot of intelligent
existed
people
in
go on
infinite
here.
past.
Yeah.
What do you call? You know, Brenda's been frequenting this channel a little bit lately. I think she was today. He was running a stream today. As a matter of fact, I was listening to it. I think he's probably still live right now. As a matter of fact, and Brenda was in the side chat. Brenda likes to jump in here because a lot of philosophical stuff that is discussed on here. So pretty smart and young guys go on here a lot. So
Yeah, he's got nothing live right now. Oh, wait a minute. No, he does have no. He has upcoming. He has upcoming at 3.
Yeah, he was just live. Pretty sure I was just watching him live. I thought maybe I don't know. I thought he was just live. He might have just shut down, or maybe unless that was a recording. He was talking to another kid I've never seen before. What was it? Physically debunked.
Physically debunked. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen
23 minutes ago.
Yeah. I was just watching that, and they were sitting there chatting, and they were talking all about physics. They were talking about time, basically general relativity, special relativity. I think he's a physics student. He's, I believe, possibly an undergrad. I thought he said physics student. So he's a pretty smart kid. That kid. So they were chatting mostly about time. It was kind of interesting what they were.
And then he had a video recently called "The Digital Physics Argument for God" by Inspiring Philosophy. So
yeah,
where you Inspiring Philosophy.
He does a lot of Nathan here does a lot of response videos to Inspiring Philosophy. Those guys, and so does Pine Creek. Pine Creek focuses on him a fair amount. They do. They talk about each other a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like I said, usually anytime Pine Creek is on a stream, it's always entertaining because he'll make it entertaining. Like if it gets, he can steer the conversation into pretty entertaining stuff. It's enjoyable to watch him jump in.
Well, let's see, Jerry Penna, Tom and I have been talking about having more of the presence on YouTube, but Tom thinks that it's too easy to get away with murder on YouTube. What does that mean? Tom, who's Tom?
Tom Rabbit he's talking about.
Well, meaning that people are not really called out of their bad reasoning or for the bad reasoning of the way the conversations are directed. Calling them out for bad reasoning is you have to actually draw a little map of what their reasoning is, and then very, very, you almost have to draw a map of their reasoning process, and then you have to go in and present and show exactly where they went off the rails, that sort of thing. Whereas debunking little pieces here and there doesn't seem to quite accomplish that. That's something I've always wanted to do, is like take, like Darth Dawkins or somebody or Standing for Truth, and just kind of map out what they've actually said and how they structure their argument. Because if you listen to them for 10 minutes, you hear an argument and you're almost blown away by it, but you're not able to keep the entire structure of the argument in mind. And it's hard to present that structure, right? And so if you start just taking down little bits, you don't do an effective job of taking them down because you haven't really presented what they said properly, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, a guy like Standing, for sure, because he's so all over the place, right? He's making arguments about a lot of different things, right?
Yeah. So
now it's far more difficult than, say, a guy like Darth Dawkins. Darth Dawkins, he's more of he's suppositionalist, right? So his argument is more focused, right? More focused than a guy like right?
He's an interrogator. He doesn't really present arguments. He interrogates.
Right. That's true. Yes, absolutely.
And it's sort of a bullying tactic, and he tries to keep you running because he's trying to steer you into a box, a reasoning box.
Right.
And he very seldom succeeds at that. If you listen to him talking to people,
Yep.
And he gets very frustrated, and then he keeps working on it and then he starts asking how old you are and telling you you're acting like a teenager, or he's got all his little ad homs.
Yep.
So that's why I don't think Darth Dawkins is really very good at what he does, because he only has one script, and if you don't run with his script, he can't deal with it. He has no way of dealing with it.
Yeah, he can't think on would you call it think on the fly kind of, he can't, like you said, he can't deal with it off of his script. And like, if you listen to him now, he's got that argument, or at least he thinks so. He's got it fine-tuned where he's, he just, like you said, puts people right into a box, boxes them right into a corner. And he just thinks that he's got it perfected so well. And he really doesn't. He really doesn't. And then now, if you notice, listen to him, all his recent stuff, it's all ad hominem. He just attacks people with, their age and, have you been doing drugs? Have you been doing drinking? Have you been diagnosed with mental illness? He starts in on all that crap because he has to use that nowadays. Like, because he doesn't have shit, really.
Yeah. You got shit.
Yeah.
Like standing had shit.
And it's so funny when anybody, it's very rare that anybody can get him to a point where, you actually ask him questions like, well, how do you know that? How do you know God or whatever? And he'll say, well, from special relativity and natural, natural revelation and special revelation, right? That's his answer. And what is that? Special revelation is the Bible, and natural revelation is look at the trees, and that's it. That's and he gets down to that. He'll say, and that's it, and then he will get away from that as fast as possible.
Yeah, special revelation. Isn't that where you have this personal relationship with God, and God is revealed inside of you? That sort of thing.
That's the Bible. That's the Bible. It's basically, and how do you know that? Or at least Darth's answer is, I get it from the Bible. That's the Bible.
No,
God has revealed it. Well, God has revealed it to him through the Bible. He will never go to any personal relationships or with God, and God has never spoken to him. No, it's all the Bible. That's it. That's his answer that he will give you. He won't go to experience. He won't go to anything else.
I lost my producer.
Yep.
He has to go to work. Now what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Yeah, the people that have the personal relationship with God, they're difficult to argue with, because they'll tell you, I just know. I know in my heart. I know in my soul.
Right.
Right. Personally revealed to me. And I deal with them by explaining to them that, I feel exactly the same way, and I'm an atheist.
Right. Yeah.
You got nothing on me. It's like, doesn't matter.
Right.
That feeling is something all humans get. Not all humans label it or attribute it to some higher power or some belief system or whatever. So anyway.
And that's exactly why Darth won't go there. He won't even enter that. He won't even enter that realm or into that arena, or however you want to describe it. Yeah, he won't go there at all. Yeah.
Oh, so I did put a fitness thing up for the show. So I thought I'd just run a real short clip on standing, and I'm not ready to completely delve into this yet. But he was talking to Andrew Cumming here, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it, and I gotta make sure I can't mute it. Okay, so I think you guys can hear it.
But there are several papers documenting these as well that they're pretty technical. If you haven't read them, that's fine, but I would definitely recommend it. And I'll say this, and then
Okay, now he set it up and said there are several papers, and they're pretty technical, which kind of implies that he's read them and he understands them and he knows what they mean. And then he goes on.
Yield. is a paper that I frequently cite from 2007, The Distribution of Fitness Effects of New Mutations. I just pulled it up in front of me, and they point out, these are evolutionary population geneticists, they point out that it seems unlikely that any mutation is truly neutral in the sense that it has no effect on fitness. Because remember, if you're defining fitness in terms of reproductive success, well, there are a ton of detrimental mutations that can be generated from generation to generation where the species or the organism can still have kids. Especially in the human population, we take care.
Okay. He's going on about genetic entropy here, basically. And he's trying to say that even, that all neutral mutations are very slightly deleterious. And what he wants you to think here is that they have some small effect, that they are in some way going to make you sicker or weaker or whatever, right? So he's trying to point out that if you have two mutations, it's going to make you twice as sick and twice as weak. Just the way rust works on a car.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, this is not how mutations work at all. And he points to a paper and he grabs one little quote out of the paper.
Right.
And
which they all do. Yep.
Yep.
Now, is that the same paper? Did you watch it further on? Did you watch the part where Brenda comes in? I wonder if that's the same one. Brenda calls him out on that. On a paper later on.
Yeah, I wish I knew where. But anyway, the quote that he came up with is right here. It seems, okay, it's right. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but I suppose I can make it bigger here. Let me go over and get it. Can you read it now?
Yeah.
It seems unlikely that any mutation is truly neutral in the sense that it has no effect on fitness. And that's almost a political statement. I mean, it is highly likely that there are a lot of mutations that have absolutely zero effect on fitness. Zero. And I don't know why the author said this, but that was the only thing out of this paper that he gleaned. And this whole paper is about basically neutral mutations and the distribution effects of, or the three kind of mutations: deleterious, neutral, and advantageous. And they say things that we could have clipped out of here, like, where the fuck is it? Let me see we kind of ought to do the same thing if that's
right.
If that's the way we're going to be using papers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so you should go back and listen to. Well, like I said, this might be the same one that Brenda called him out on, and Standing actually admitted, because Brenda called him out on it and said, "This is, the conclusion is not what you're saying it is." And the only response was Standing made was, "You made a good point there, Brenda. You're up, basically you're right." But he just said, you have a good point there, and then he just kind of like moved on away from it. And he did admit it in this stream that he was not representing the author's view. It was going against his view. And Brendan called him out on it. So, yeah. Anyway.
I wonder if this is the paper you're talking about. I'll look a little further ahead on Brenda. But anyway, so this paper is basically about the problems with neutral mutations and trying to figure out what is a truly neutral mutation. And I think we're going to actually read this paper on Paper Trails and get into it a little bit. And it isn't very technical, actually. It's more of an overview type paper.
Yeah.
And it's probably worth going through. It's only a few pages long.
Who wrote this?
We can handle. It was, let's see, Eyre-Walker and Peter Knightley. Knightley is pretty, or Keightley is pretty common, particularly around that period. I think wrote a lot of papers. Yeah. And there are conclusions. Well, for one thing, even in the abstract, we could clip a quote where it says that the proportion of mutations, that are advantageous, effectively neutral, and deleterious varies between species. And later on, they say it varies greatly between species. And it depends entirely on population size as to whether or not it's going to have an effect on fitness or whether it's going to drift out of the population. And so they say exactly the opposite of what the genetic entropy people are saying.
Right. Yep.
The GE people are saying that evolution is impossible because and young Earth is absolutely proven, because if a species is around for too long, it will have too many deleterious mutations accumulating, and then it will die, right? And that, in fact, depends on the population size entirely as to whether or not a species can get into a bottleneck. And even then, it doesn't necessarily get into a bottleneck. It may hit upon a mutation and an environment where the species, one half of it dies out and a few individuals end up taking off and creating, a subspecies that can handle that particular variation. So, but it's a lot more complicated. And neutral mutations are nearly neutral mutations. The reason they call them nearly neutral is because anything that happens in your DNA is going to have some effect on you.
Right.
You could have a mutation. I have a mutation that makes my nose bigger than my older brother and smaller than my younger brother. Okay.
Right. Yep.
And does that have an effect on my fitness? Is that going to have an effect on future generations to where we're going to go extinct? Fuck no.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
For one thing, all my brothers have had kids, and I didn't. Well, I have kids, but no grandkids. So my particular nose mutation is not going to make it out into the future. Those two are. One has a bigger nose, one has a smaller nose, and we got to fucking, I mean, you just can't do it like this. You can't make these simplistic estimations of what's happening in the genome. Varies between species is what they're talking about. So that right there tells you that, okay, even if we showed that humans were basically getting less fit, which we have not showed at all because there are fucking 9 billion of us, even then, we haven't shown anything about any other species, so we said absolutely nothing about evolution. So anyway, the structure of his argument is just to point out that one little quote, to just pick up a quote out of a paper, just like it's not even a complete sentence, right?
Yep.
And they go on to elaborate. So that's basically how Standing for Truth argues, and it's just ridiculous.
And the funny thing is, Speed, I'd stream yesterday. We were talking, and Dessel brought up that stream from your channel, and this is the exact conversation that you guys were having. You should go back and listen to it. You were talking all about fitness. Leo was in the stream. There was big, there was some battles going on with, Leo was in there, and Leo was battling pretty good. You should go back and listen to that. I think the whole conversation was about that, or that section of it anyway.
What stream was it?
On your channel, the one that Dessel, look on look on your stream yesterday. The YouTube channel it's on your channel, and it's in your description of the weather report yesterday. Dessel gave you that, the one where Redefine was on your channel, and this was back in January, what we were just talking about.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay,
that whole conversation. If you listen, I listened to it this morning because I said, I want to go back and listen to that, and I listened to a good chunk of it. I sped it up and listened to it, and it was all about, a lot of it was the same exact thing, all about fitness, and Standing was in there, and it was you was in the stream. Leo was in the stream. Dessel was in the stream. Redefine came in. Will came in. The young kid, Chad, he came in. John came in. There was
didn't I boot Will?
Yeah. But a lot of you guys, the big part of the conversation was talking about fitness and
Yeah, well,
whatever. So anyway, yeah, it's just kind of funny how it's still the same old.
well, it's all he's got, like Erica pointed out on her video today, and I think I did link that I linked that in the description. She pointed out that he makes argument A, she does rebuttal B, and then he makes argument A again, and claims that she hasn't done anything, that she hasn't done a rebuttal. He just totally ignores rebuttals. And
it's like these guys have like no humility at all, right?
No,
I mean,
no.
it's like it's so wild how they do that. All the Christians seem to do that. Yeah. I mean, even for instance, yesterday, look at Antangelo. Now he took offense. Man, you heard him. We had that conversation, and I thought he got beat up pretty good on that discussion that on that video that you just had up with Pine Creek, and those guys they pounded on Tangelo pretty good, and he was faltering, he was struggling, and they actually felt bad for him. And there you go, he took offense because I said that yesterday. You heard him. What do you mean I got beat up? Why do he? And they all the Christians do that every time any discussion, any argument. They go back on their channel and, oh, I destroyed this guy, I destroyed this one yesterday, or it's like they phony, as Pine Creek puts it, the phony flag waving Christian, as he puts it.
Well, what is that WW wrestling bullshit where they come on and they say, I'm going to destroy them, and and only they do the advertisement for the fight after they've already got their ass beat to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It is like that, definitely.
So I mean, they got it like backwards, oh yeah, she didn't really, and then they go on and they do their video and they say the same thing over again. It's just like WWF. It's a WWF worldwide. What the fuck is it?
WWE now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Been for many years.
What does it stand for?
World Wrestling Entertainment. Is it right there? Yeah.
Oh, they did.
It used to be Federation before for us.
Oh, so they got honest and started calling it entertainment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There was actually a school in Minneapolis here in northern suburbs where they trained those people to do all the stunts that they do,
Yeah.
So they don't actually get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, they get hurt, but they try to minimize it. So
yeah.
God, my brother-in-law used to be into that, and he swore it was real. He just thought the whole thing was like
yeah. Why it's so funny, like we said, these guys,
they got sued.
They are so, these Christians that like they do the victory parade after the fact, and it's, I mean, Dawkins, listen to him. He's like, he's never lost a debate ever in his life, and he goes on his into his little cave there after he spoke with Stephen Law, after he spoke with Graham Oppie, and did you hear him? He couldn't answer my questions, and and all these, and standing does the same thing. Maddox does the same thing. Like, every debate on modern day debate, they've won them all, and it's so funny. Like, I don't know. Do they have any self-awareness, or they never admit to any mistake, right? Do you ever hear them ever say, "Well, I could have been wrong about that," or maybe I exaggerated about that? Do you ever? I've never heard him say anything
Praise,
like that. Right?
Praise has been saying lately. He's definitely saying that he used to believe something else, and he's wondering why.
He did a friggin' flip again. He just flipped again. Now he's back to the goddamn Trinity. Yep.
Oh no.
He did it again. Yep.
Hey, somebody's going to do a thing on the Trinity. Who the hell was that? Oh shit. Oh no. Okay. Thursday, our Atheist Bible Club is on the Trinity, and I've got to remember to attend. Saul Cordova used to come, but now I think he got angry with us. I'm not sure. Yeah. But Ron Garrett is on that. it's basically a little group of us that meet and we go over some things about the Bible. And there are a few Christians in there, I think. Yeah. And it's interesting. But a church in California hosts it, and they used to have like in-person get-togethers. Yeah. And they've been doing Zoom for a while. But anyways, I've missed many, many meetings because of the shit that's going on in my life. But I'm going to try to make it because I wanted to hear about the Trinity. I really want to understand it. It's like, okay, we got this one being, but he splits into three, but he's not three personalities, or there's a big fight going on about all that, what a person is and personhood, isn't it? Something like that. And, I don't get it because... I'm a biblical idiot. I admit it.
Right.
And all you have to do is imagine another dimension, and that exists separate from reality, of course. So
yeah,
and like us on a computer, the computer is in another universe.
Wasn't it like quarks? Aren't they like quarks? The three personalities, kind of, and they get together and they form like a proton or a neutron. I don't know. Seems like quarks to me. There's three different kinds of quarks.
When you listen to these guys, right? Okay, I mean, recently, I guess this has been going on. All these Christians, they're really fighting over interpretation of the Bible, doctrine, right? I poked in on Praise's channel. I listened in today to see if anything interesting happened last night, right? I usually will do that. I'll poke in, I'll check on stuff to see if anything interesting, if there's anything interesting to talk about it on the weather report, right? Yeah. And I look, and it was all, they were just battling. And you want to hear something funny? Joel showed his little nose again, showed his face. He? Oh, yeah. Okay, so he jumped in. And of course, I'm always interested in anything with Joel because, the poor man, he is not well liked at all in this community when it comes to atheists or Christians. All the Christians hate him. Yeah. They really don't like the guy, right? So he popped into Praise's channel, and they were talking, and Veckel was on there, then Jill was on, and they were just on and on for hours talking about the Bible and Bible verses, and it was all talking. Veckel, I believe, is a Calvinist, so a lot of these other Christians like Praise and even like Smokey and some of the other guys, a lot of the other Christians don't really care for the Calvinist type of doctrine, that type of, so a lot of that was talked about, right? So here's Joel. Joel jumps in, and Veckel, now keep in mind, right? Joel, you guys know, his view of Christianity, or he's kind of, I guess they call that oneness. I guess they say, yeah.
Okay. So he's a oneness person?
Yeah. Joel, okay. Well, that's what they all say. They all, he's got a really screwed up.
Bob directly. How?
I'm sorry. I was just trying to, I didn't mean to hit play yet.
Yeah. So anyway, Joel's view, his doctrine, I guess you call it, is quite a bit different. But I think his is, and so is Bob's, right? I don't know if you've listened to these guys that much. Bob's, he's kind of or they call it open theism.
Okay.
Right? Bob has that type of open theism doctrine, which is, I think, goes against the Trinity, I believe. And it's all about whether or not God's omnipotence, or honestly, I don't know. I just don't know this shit well enough to.
It gets really technical.
It does, and it gets so goddamn confusing. I don't know it well enough, really, to be able to really describe it to you guys and explain it. But anyway, Bob, they've been working on him. I think all these guys, I think they're trying to convert him. I think he's more of what you would consider an open theist, whatever the fuck that means. Okay, I don't know.
Look it up.
And Joel, I think Joel has some objections to Bob's doctrine too, but Joel's friggin' doctrine is all fucked up too. I know he doesn't believe in the Trinity, and that has been a huge fight just recently. They, if you go back 3-4 weeks ago or whatever, they had some big battles with Joel, if you remember that, because of his doctrine. So they're not getting along with him, and he jumps in here, and Veckel, they started battling over friggin' what the hell were they battling over now? Oh, shit, now I can't remember. It's the doctrine anyway, and go ahead.
Open theism is the thesis that because God loves us and desires that we freely choose to reciprocate his love, he has made his knowledge of and plans for the future conditional upon our actions. Though omniscient, God does not know what we will freely do in the future. So God is he's given us his setup, and if we accept him and love him back and behave that way, then apparently there will be a big apocalypse with heaven, or else there won't, depending on what we do. He might just sick another flood on us, or fuck us in some other humiliating way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, Leonard just wrote in the thing is open theism is like the A theory of time. I don't. What the hell does that mean? I don't.
That would be the linear theory of time. I think that time is truly passing or something like that. So
like I said, we were just talking about that digital gnosis, and that's all what they were talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The future is open. Depends on what man does, on what we will to do, because we have free will. So we can choose to say, fuck you, fuck you, God. Which we do.
Right. I don't know. It's all so goddamn confusing. But like I said, so Joel jumps in on here, and they start battling over whatever verses and doctrine and whatever. And Veckel, like I said, Veckel is more on the Calvinist side, which is quite a bit different. And he starts hammering Joe a little bit about his doctrine. And, and Joe, what a baby. Oh my God, that guy, he's such a whiner. You're bullying me. And he just whines and cries, and he rage quits, right? And I don't know if you
did he do it here?
Oh yeah. He was only in there for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. Like I said, I speed it up usually, so he wasn't in there long, and he rage quit. And he did. Do you recall Peter came in? Just remember we talked about Joel a few days ago, right? Did the same thing. He jumped into Ontangelo's. Remember we reviewed him a few days back. Okay. And he jumped Joel. Remember we were talking about Joel, and he jumped into Ontangelo's stream and had that fit with Peter. He had that interaction with Peter. He rage quit, and he said, I'm going to open up my own live stream. Yeah. He did the same thing right here. Did the same exact thing.
He opened the live stream last night?
Yep. And
by the way, okay, this is an aside. So Nephilim opened a live stream, and he was, it was only Nephilim, and he wasn't saying anything. So John Maddox came over and advertised his live stream on Nephi's channel, and then went over and Maddox opened his live stream, right? So Nephilim came in the very beginning of that stream, and him and Maddox had some words. And Nephilim said, I don't believe that you just came over to my channel and advertised your live stream and then went and started it and overrun mine. And John booted Neff.
Oh wow, I didn't see that. I missed that.
It's at the very beginning of one of the streams that we were reviewing, I think. I got to figure out where it was, but maybe we should play that. But so anyway,
back to this. Okay, Joel, like I said, he just did the same exact thing. He jumps on, has a little battle with Veckel, and then I'm leaving. I'm going to open up my own stream. And he wrote it. If you look at the side chat, he wrote it in the side chat, right? He goes and opens up a stream, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to go check to see if see what they had to say on Joel's stream. He was on the goddamn stream for 2 hours by himself. He sat there talking by himself for 2 friggin' hours, and nobody joined.
I feel bad for him.
Poor Joel. Nobody likes poor Joel. So
I should go join one of Joel's streams some evening.
yeah, I mean,
I
the
can't
man,
tolerate him for more than 5 minutes.
he is just a whiny little bitch. I mean, he is so bad. He's such a whiner.
So Erica joined us.
Yeah.
Anyway, she did a nice little 16-minute video on some community posts that SFD was doing, claiming she wouldn't debate. And the truth of the matter is that we're not going to go on Stanley's channel until he shows a little tit for tat or or starts to change his behavior,
Yeah.
Of course, they can say the same thing about me. I have not been, even the softer, kinder speed of sound
Yeah.
has not been all that softer and kinder. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, I find it a little disturbing. Here's Andrew now. Andrew's here. I find it a little disturbing on the way, Standing for Poop treats Andrew. I mean,
Yep.
you're talking about a young kid who's, high school kid that's learning, that wants to learn and whatever. And the things that, like, if you look at that stream that you just had up, right, and you look at the side chat, and so he's sitting there having this long, discussion and stuff with Andrew, and read the shit in the side chat that he writes, like, that poor kid, he's so committed to his I can't remember some of the but just disturbing things, like, you're talking to a high school kid, like, what? I don't know. Am I being too biased with that, or like, because you have this kind of the same situation with Will, right? You got Will chat, the kid Will that goes on,
we treat him pretty harshly. So, but
yeah, so that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying, am I being too biased about that? Or
I didn't treat Will harshly until he displayed that really racist icon and started with his authoritative. When are you a woman?
Right?
Can you be authoritative?
His behavior is bad, so that warrants something. But normally,
Andrew's a nice guy,
right? And I don't engage with Will. I don't write any comments very. So that's what kind of bothers me. But his Will's behavior warrants some criticism for sure.
Well, in a lot of ways, if they did treat Andrew differently, that would be ageism, right? Because Andrew, he's well educated, and he doesn't want any special treatment, and I agree. So we're kind of being ageist bastards ourselves, that sort of thing. But no, it's not so much his age that bothers me; it's that he is such a nice guy over there, and sometimes Maddox will just be a real asshole to him. Standing is a little better with him, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they do get a nice guy, they really run over him, a lot. And
absolutely.
And I don't think we've ever done that. Like that guy that came in the other day, Martin.
Right.
I mean, we had a nice talk with him because he was a decent guy. He was He was easy to talk to.
And that's what I mean by I'm trying. I try to set aside my bias. I try to, or at least be aware of it, right? And that's what I'm trying to do right here. Try to be, you're talking, okay, you have Will on the other side, you got Andrew there, close to the same age. So I'm trying not to be, okay, how is everybody treated? Like you're saying, Martin came here, he's a nice kid, and we've had many, I had a long conversation with him on Top Dog's channel. He's been over on Top Dog's channel a few times. Martin has. So I mean, I don't see that type of behavior, like you said. But am I being biased on the atheist side? Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah, we are assholes.
Yeah,
to them. Well, I guess what gets my dander up is like when Cell refuses to talk to me for ridiculous reasons, or where SFT refuses to come onto our channel other than to sit and chat and talk to people about movies, or shit like that. I don't know. I get a little owly when people won't talk to me. I guess. So I want to see what Joel had to say here.
Yeah.
Let's see. He comes in.
Jesus said, if you don't believe Moses, didn't he mean the 5 books of Moses?
They're
Hey, Bob, when
called
you guys
the
get a
5
chance,
books.
I wanted to ask you some direct questions.
All right,
to get past
I'll
all this
stop.
crap,
I'm
man.
sorry I'm taking over here.
Thanks for inviting me, Praise.
He invited him.
Yeah, Veckel said I'm a homosexual if I didn't join the chat. So
I was asking a question.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But only a
I didn't say
homosexual
you were
would
gay. I
have
said
to.
he thinks you gay.
you're a child, Veckel. Hey, Bob, I'm real curious, man. I'm getting real frustrated. I don't know if you've been following the chat or not. This is just giving atheists ammunition for their channels.
Yep.
So I'm just real curious, man. Is it true that you're trying to say that God doesn't know our hearts? Yes or no? I mean, this is really stupid.
He knows the hearts of the believers, yes.
Only the believers, not Judas.
Wow.
Did Jesus know that Judas was going to betray him?
Yes, I would say yes. I was listening to that
Jesus-
on an
I'm not-
apologetics radio.
We can hide from God, us atheists? Is that what he's saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
That's cool.
we know. Don't forget, we know God. Everybody knows God, and you're just denying it. So you're hiding, I guess. Yeah.
So Orge says we're assholes to them.
I know. I just saw that. I know. Are you joking or are you serious? Or
No, he's probably serious. We
He's
are
pro-
assholes to them.
Yeah, maybe so. I try not to. I really try not to.
Well, I don't know. You don't have to look any further in my description. What the hell? Standing still and poop?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, we're not nice. Hey, Jay.
So you keep on saying we.
Oh, okay.
Also, that's another problem.
Oh, okay. So, Top Dog's nice. You're a nice guy, but I'm an asshole. Okay, so I'll own it. And I'm also biased, and I'm very, very, extremely biased on my channel. I will mute you if I don't like you.
Yep.
I don't know.
Gavin,
Right?
Gavin's rules.
What's that?
Only he does- Gavin's rules. Only Gavin does it for somebody else's channel, not his own.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, Praise has new rules now. If you pay for his channel, then you get to be a moderator. Otherwise, you don't. Did you hear the new rules?
I haven't been a moderator, and I put a lot of money toward him.
He laid out his new rules the other day that if you are you don't get to be a moderator even in chat unless you contribute to the channel. So you got to give him money in order to be a moderator. And Gavin is the top dollar. So, Gavin and I came on and he said the other new rule is that you had to be nicer in chat. And so I came on and I said,
You got to, but
I
do
said,
you have
"Will
to
you-"
pay someone? Do you have to pay someone at one of the mods to be nice to you now? I mean, that just sounds like a
maybe.
slippery slope.
Well, I told Praise that I was willing to. I said, I will pay for your channel if you'll boot Gavin. And he told me, you better be careful, Speed, because I'm going to boot, because he was going to throw me out, right? Because I said something bad to Gavin.
Yeah.
But I offered to pay for his channel if he would get rid of Gavin.
Yeah.
I made that offer several times. So.
Well, it seems okay. What? So he did. So instead of saying the offer, I'm not even going to consider the offer. He just figured he would throw you out.
Well, he thought I was saying something nasty to Gavin, and he had just explained that he wanted his chat to be better, that he didn't want people, being mean to each other, and he thought I was being mean to Gavin by suggesting he boot Gavin. So,
hey,
anyway.
Let me bring up Jay. Did you see on this stream right here, way earlier on, your brother was on, Jefferson was on there, and Gavin.
Yeah.
Did you see what Gavin said to him? He said, all right, shut up, you drunken atheist, or something, and booted him.
Yeah.
He booted his ass. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I watched that because Jeff did a live stream shortly after that. He's like, yeah, that guy pissed me off. I was like, I was like, shouldn't surprise you. It's why I don't go in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you must got booted right there, eh? Is this the boot
that's
spot?
Yeah, right there.
Yep. It's funny.
So I'm not okay.
Yeah,
the
remember,
canon
this is
so.
remember,
what we
this
have
is the-
now in you open up your Bible,
real quick.
all those books, right?
What?
Remember, Gavin is the one that's beaten Jeff all those times, those 2-3 times that Jeff and Gavin have had a debate. He has destroyed Jeff. He has destroyed him. And yet Jeff gets on that channel. He's hardly saying anything, and he's got to kick him.
But then at Council of Nicaea,
Nicaea had nothing to do with the
council there is. But then at Council of Nicaea, the actual council there.
No, he booted him earlier.
Yeah,
It's actually the Council of Trent is where the formation.
He didn't really say anything, so he.
Maybe you'd have to back that up a little bit.
Of the text of the canonicity came from.
Where is? Oh, there's Gavin right there. Okay, let's see if I can spot a place where Gavin talks. I can't.
His thing won't. I think you were at the right spot, but you only had to back it up. You were right when Praise was talking. I think it happens right after that.
I'm not saying y'all didn't answer. I'm just saying that was the essence of what you were getting at, right?
Associated with the apostle, which is why the Gospel of Thomas didn't make it.
Actually, a lot of what was used that actually established the canon was theology. So put together. Okay, so they compiled it.
No, it was the Council of Trent. Yeah, you have the wrong council.
False. Polycarp had Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians.
I don't know why they're
Philemon, Colossians, 1st Thessalonians, 2nd Thessalonians, 1st Timothy, Philemon, yeah. 1st and 2nd Timothy.
Not Philemon.
That's what he had in his canon of scripture.
Right, but it wasn't.
Stop being pedantic, Jefferson. Come on, man.
It wasn't.
He also had 1st and 2nd Peter as well.
The official canonization of the New Testament didn't happen until the Council of Nicaea.
It doesn't matter when someone makes something official. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist prior to that.
Right, but the Council of Nicaea is where all those principles
the
took
Council
place.
of Nicaea had nothing to do with the canon of Scripture. Praise already corrected you on that.
Yeah, it's Council of Trent. So we had New Testament scholars like Metzger. We have, there's several others that show that's a myth. It's actually the Council of Trent is where the formation of the text of the canonicity came from.
Stop for a second. Can you pause that for a second?
Right, okay. So I'm not, the canon.
Can you pause that for a second?
So what we have now you open up your Bible, all those books, right?
It's not, this is not.
You gotta say Dannykins or foreskin. Okay.
So I was looking that up, and I think they're getting that confused because the Council of Trent is the response from the Roman Catholic Church to the Protestant Reformation. Remember that the Roman Catholics accept the Apocrypha into their canon, whereas the Protestants do not. So that's what the Council of Trent was about.
Okay.
I think the Council of Nicaea was the one that was trying to figure out. That's what I think where they were trying to figure out what's going to be doctrine, but there was a schism that happened in between because the Protestants didn't accept certain doctrine. Because everything I'm finding about the Council of Trent doesn't say it's strictly it's a Catholic response to a Protestant position.
Okay.
But I don't understand enough about it, so I'm still looking. But I don't think they're. I don't know. Never mind.
Okay.
Those were put together in different meetings and different fathers and possibly the apostles themselves. I mean, that's disputed too. But then at Council of Nicaea, the actual council there is when it was.
He booted him. I didn't hear Gavin say anything, so I don't know. We don't have the right spot.
Yeah, that must not be the right spot.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
He didn't. Yeah, they got snippy. He got snippy with Jeff, but then it let it go for a little bit. And then when Jeff said, when he was correcting Jill on the pronunciation of Philemon, he had apparently that's crawled up Gavin's ass, and he decided to because he didn't just kick him from StreamYard. He blocked him from the chant, and he banned him from StreamYard.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know when they get all biblical on me, I tend to fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. It gets a little a little boring. But like I said, I wished I time stamped that one spot. It was funny, Gavin telling him, "Shut up, you drunken atheist! Be quiet!" And quiet boy, he's going, "Quiet boy, quiet!" And I mean, it's Gavin is just unsufferable. You can't.
Yep.
Can't deal with him.
So Andrew, we don't got a lot. We don't have a lot going on today, so I think we're going to end this stream pretty quick. But unless
okay,
something exciting comes.
Okay, I just want to say something before you end the stream. Like I was hearing my name. I went into the stream. I was hearing something about my name, and you guys saying good stuff about me. And I just wanted to say, all glory to God, not to me.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay.
We were just talking about how different we are with people like you who come in and have a conversation, as opposed to bullshit, that sort of thing. So anyway,
we were talking about how everybody enjoyed talking with you. You're a theist, and they've been great conversations. I mean, you've only been here that one time, right? But and I had mentioned that we had spoken on Top Dogs. You've been on Top Dogs a few times. I see you've been around quite a bit, Martin. You were on Pine Creeks, were you? And you've been jumping around.
Yeah, I try and speak to lots of people to make sure I'm not deceived and to hear opposing views. Like I want to be open to evidence and stuff. So
And where else did I see you? Did you jump on Amy Newman's? Maybe you over there?
Not yet. I was just watching streams. I didn't.
Where else? Where else did I see? I didn't actually watch the streams that you were on, but I know people had mentioned, or I saw you on other streams in passing somewhere. I don't know where, but
I try and meet lots of people. So
Martin, you and I are going to have a talk on evolution and spirituality on a.
Sure.
I've got a. I think I replied to your email, but I haven't been particularly studious about setting that up. But we will set it up here this week or next week, if you want to do that.
Sure, we can. We can speak anytime you want.
Yeah, I want to find out how evolution intersects your belief, for one thing, and the other thing is just talk about spirituality in general. So
I have believed in evolution a few times. There's a lot of Christians that actually I've seen believe in evolution. There's just some things that don't 100% make sense to me, but I'm open because God can use any method he wants. Like, I'm not as close-minded as like Kent Hovind that starts bashing God if he uses a method that he doesn't like.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We'll have that. It'll just be you and I. So. And
a bit of fun.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
How about that we have a history of like many years ago, people being killed for learning out stuff in real life. So then people that believed in that particular religion and stuff stay alive. So then they reproduced and everything. So they're set. The way they think and stuff passed on, so maybe that's how things work. How evolution favors the religious people and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think my anti-theism is graded, and it's basically the first thing that I come down on is people that deny evolution, and in that respect, I'm an anti-theist. But it gets a little bit lighter when you cross over into what I call Sigard territory. We're a little more open-minded about how God did it, that sort of thing. So,
it's religious selection there, like sexual selection. Makes.
Yep.
Hey, Speed, don't forget to reach out to Jay, the Buddhist guy there. Right? Don't forget, you might get a lot out of that too. You should have brought him.
I don't know. I watched some. So how woo is he? How far woo is he?
To be honest, I don't know. I've watched a bunch of streams with him on, and I don't think they've ever even talked about Buddhism at all, very little. So I don't know that part of it. But I just because on that stream the other day when I brought it up to you the other day, Jay brought it up. He said, "Oh yeah, nobody wants to talk to me because I'm a Buddhist and nobody's interested." And then that's when I wrote in the chat. I'm like, "Oh, I know somebody that might be interested in talking to you about that." And I said, "You should, reach out to you, Speed, and then I gave you the information to, I didn't know. I don't know if you guys would be interested or not. I just thought you might get something out of it. I don't know."
Okay. So yeah, we'll do that.
I mean, his Buddhism may be quite different from yours, right? I don't know. I don't know that much about it. So
yeah, it depends on whether it runs secular or not. Because if it's the heavy doctrinal Buddhism, then I'm out. I wouldn't even know what the hell I was talking about because I don't read that shit. So
yeah. Well, maybe listen to some of his stuff. Maybe he talks about it, and then you would get a feel for it. Maybe I see that. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what his.
Yeah. Well, I could do a pre-interview and see if it's worth us talking, that sort of thing.
Right,
but it might be interesting. So
right. Yep.
So anyway, Andrew, so we got to set up this genetic entropy thing, and I think you're in charge of setting it up.
Okay. What was there a specific time you want to do it? Because I saw Dr. Dan was okay with tonight.
I'm okay with 7 or 8 tonight. Either one, your choice.
Okay. Yeah. Or we're all different time zones. So
well, 7 is 5 your time, 5 or 6 your time, and for Dr. Dan is East Coast.
Yeah. So that would be 8 for him, right?
That would be 8 or 9 for him. So if that's okay, we could do it then.
Yeah. So how about 5:30? Or so 5:30 for me. That would be 7:30 for you, and that would be 8:30 for Dr. Dan, right?
Oh, you trying to compromise?
He's in the chat right there, Speed. Do you see it? He's right. He just wrote. Okay. All right.
Oh, he could do 8 p.m. Eastern or later. So 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, and whatever the fuck time zone you're in, Andrew. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Sun gets up late with you Californians. That's because of the amount of weed y'all smoke. Well, not y'all, but some of you.
I'm not going to make a comment on that.
Well, that's why the sun goes later in California. You knew that, right? Because of the amount of drugs they do out there. Anyway.
All right. Well, sounds good. If Dr. Dan's okay around, then I should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good for him. In the chat.
Yeah,
what are you guys discussing? Fitness or
genetic entropy and fitness?
Entropy. And
how it affects
I'd also like to talk about Stanning's supposed refutation of the question I posed to him. So we can.
Oh yeah, I've got that bookmarked.
Oh, okay, nice.
You mean about the bristles? And there was who was that guy, Godzilla Freak, that came on and he tried to compare your bristle thing. He was talking about information and bristles, and I got that part bookmarked too.
Dr. Dan's. Let's see. So I think Dr. Dan, if you want to watch the video Stanning posted on his chat with me and Brenda, and just I guess look at the part I was in or the whole thing if you want. That would be something we could go over maybe.
I'll post it in public chat here.
I'll post it there.
Dan.
That'll be good.
So yeah, that one has a timestamp for Brenda, but let me see, where is Midnight's back? It's at 13:22. I'm gonna post that timestamp.
Yeah, that should be fun. Thanks, Speed, and thanks, Dr. Dan.
Check it out around right here. It gets kind of interesting, and I will see if I can download some of the papers and or gather up the papers and stuff that he goes over. But
cool.
Okay, but we can do that. But hey, Midnight, what's up?
Nothing much. Yes, I'm here. Sorry, Speed.
You were on Discord.
Well, yes and no. I was a friend.
Give me that yes and no shit. Go ahead.
A friend of mine on Discord wanted. You know what, Speed? Fuck off. I'm not talking again. I'm not talking.
Thank you. I appreciate it when people tell me to fuck off.
Steve,
You
make
asked
sure
me.
you
You
check
told me
out.
a question. You told me. You asked me a question. Now you answer.
No,
Whatever.
I'm serious. I appreciate when people tell me to fuck off in the manner that you do it. Very honest, very spot on, my friend.
Speed, make sure you check out that part on the video with Brenda in it, where Standing admits to her making a good point about calling him out on that paper. Make sure you look at that. It's on that video.
Oh boy!
So listen to that part of it with Brenda on it. So
guess what? There's a transcript. Ha!
Ooh.
Yeah, I love transcripts.
There you go.
Okay.
It should be fun tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm guessing we're gonna do it on your channel, right, Speed?
Yep. Yeah, I need some cred. Please, Dr. Dan, do it on my channel. I only got 381 subscribers. So tomorrow it will be 1 year since I posted my first video. So
ooh, nice.
And I picked up about 1.0205 subscribers a day. So if I can keep going for another 45 years, what will I have?
No, but it starts to snowball at the stage.
Yeah, hopefully I'm waiting for the snowball. Anyway. Okay.
Hey, I just actually watched a little short video. They talked about how much money people can make doing this kind of things. And you can really make some big money, right? I mean,
some people do.
Yeah.
I know that pretty sure Professor Dave makes a living, and I know Tom Jump had said that he made a living and he only had like 1,200 subscribers, and he's been doing this full time. So
Well, when you punch around praise I am that I am, you're gonna make money.
yeah. The thing is, it depends on the kind of subscribers and Patreons you have, whether or not you can actually make money on it. But
oh boy, Speed, you're catching up with Brainbug. You're gonna start a war with him soon.
Oh, it's good. I'm catching up. Cool, awesome.
Yeah,
I think
I just watched a video today, and they were talking about a channel, and they do a percentage on. Of course, YouTube takes 45%, and then
30.
30. I guess,
30.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 30. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of Super Chat.
Yeah, and they talked about this one small channel, and the channel had about 300,000 subscribers, and then it had approximately 6 million views. Like they go by views and subscribers, and then it's like, okay, if you got 6 million views per year, I mean, this one channel was making $12,000 a month, and that I mean, it's a decent sized channel, but. I mean, that's a lot. He figured it at $144,000 a year. I mean, that's quite a bit.
Well, we're talking about starting a sub channel with where we teach logic, and I have a professor who wants to do that, and possibly another sub channel or this channel where we do a little more educational videos for that bridge the gap between the bullshit that you're hearing from Standing for Truth and everybody who doesn't have the time to read genetics, right? So, but in order to do that, the first thing I'm looking for is some really good video production software along the line of Doodly, where you could do animations and come up with scripts and things like that. So those are, but I've got about two years to work on this. To get some of this up. And also the only person here is Top Dog is the only one that's contributed to our 2 forums. But that forum, I'm going to keep paying for it. We have answersinatheism.com and we have answersinnaturalism.com. And so what I want to do is put something on the blog and then do a video that's a companion to it. And do that for some of these, like what Erica does, these short takedowns.
Yeah.
On certain creation things, and I've got to get on that forum and clean it up. But Top Dog has a whole bunch of content out there. On which one do you have it on? Answers in Naturalism, Top Dog?
Science and Naturalism.
Yeah, I think it's Answers, it's Science and Naturalism. Okay, that's the one. I'm sorry. I don't even know the name of my own goddamn blog. So scienceandnaturalism.com, and I think the other one is answersinAtheism.com.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
I see
And
what
you guys-
Leo. Oh, go ahead, Midnight. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask, can you link those two sites? Never mind. You already did.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yep.
Top Talk already linked one of them.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Walker. Happy 1 year YouTube anniversary.
Oh, Walker started yesterday or today?
Yeah, I guess so.
And I started tomorrow.
Today's exactly 1 year. He says, "Yep."
Yeah.
Do you see what you see what Leo wrote too? He said he's a big fan of Vosh, and he says Vosh makes about $8,000 to $12,000 a month. And I know, that was
Speaking of Vosh, apparently he got suspended off Twitter, which
really, yeah.
Why? What did he do? What do you do
don't
to get suspended on Twitter?
You tweet. I don't know.
It's a dumpster fire.
It's funny that Vosh, I think, is like that little video that I was watching about. They had said he was making 12,000. It was about on par with Vosh's. I think Vosh has like 250,000 subscribers, I believe. I think I've gone on his channel before, and I think he's that. So that would be about right. Yeah, 8,000 to 12,000. So yeah. That's a nice paycheck, though. I mean, shit.
Yep. Yeah, that's computer consultant level money.
Yeah, I mean, if I guess it all depends. Like I know like I said, what I watched, I think the videos that was being produced on this channel, they were only like little short 15-minute videos, and okay, this person's putting out a 15-minute video every day, and you're making that kind of money. Like, it's pretty damn good. If that's all the effort you have to put into, I mean, like you said, it's all depends. If you have to get into a lot of graphics and all that shit, now you're putting in a shitload of work into it. But it just all depends if you can get the right thing. Like this channel that they were talking about. I mean, this person they were putting out, literally sat there and talked in front of the channel for 15 minutes a day. Like, and that was it. And he had that many subscribers and he was making that kind of money. Like,
what the hell?
Holy shit. I'd take
Hey,
that.
Dave, why don't you get in on that?
Yeah, right. No, yeah.
We all
I
could
talk
do
to I talk to my dog and he doesn't listen. What makes you think any YouTubers or any people on right? I mean, shit. I can't get my dog to listen to me. How am I going to get people on YouTube to listen to me?
I mean, not with that attitude.
I'm kidding. Midnight. Jeez. Lighten up, buddy.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to go get ready for tonight. So I think we're going to check this in the head early.
Well, I just need somebody else to talk to for my channel.
Yeah. Well, you got to invite people on. Atheist Junior, by the way, is doing some very interesting videos with Christians and various people, and you should all check that one out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get, I don't think he has a lot of subs or viewers, but he's got some very, very decent dialogues and kind of like listening to him. So, check that out.
I did. As a matter of fact, I did. And Peter was just on there the other day. He was.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Peter's helping him out with a lot of stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Producing stuff, whatever Peter's doing for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
Okay, guys.
All right.
We're gonna end.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, cool
Stay
world.
curious.
Goodbye.